Beneath California's warm sunlight and busy cities lies something ancient, restless, and powerful. For decades, the San Andreas Fault has appeared to sleep. Hidden under the illusion of calm, a silent giant stretching from the deserts of Southern California to the cool coastline of the north. But in recent months, that silence has changed. Scientists have detected unusual signals, small at first, barely noticeable to the average person, yet alarming enough to trigger one unsettling question. Is the next major earthquake closer than we think? Because if this fault awakens violently, it will not be a minor tremor. It will be a chain reaction of unstoppable force, a reminder that the ground beneath us is never truly still. The San Andreas Fault is one of the most powerful and dangerous geological boundaries on Earth. It marks the line between two massive tectonic plates, the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, moving in opposite directions, like two colossal beasts grinding against each other. Each year, they shift only a few centimeters, but every millimeter builds pressure deep within the Earth's crust. When that pressure becomes too much, the plates do what they have always done throughout Earth's history. They snap, releasing energy in a violent burst we know as an earthquake. But the San Andreas is not a simple line on a map. It is a connected network of fractures and stress points that run beneath cities, freeways, farmland, and mountains, silently shaping the landscape and the lives of millions. And that is why these recent unusual activities have captured so much attention. For months now, seismic monitors have recorded a noticeable increase in micro-earthquakes. Tiny tremors, too small for humans to feel but extremely meaningful to geologists. It's not the size that matters. It's the pattern. These tremors have appeared in clusters, forming swarm-like groups along historically quiet sections of the fault. In geology, this is often considered a whisper before a scream, a subtle indicator that deeper stress is shifting and redistributing. Satellite imagery has also revealed something even more unsettling: ground deformation. Certain areas along the fault have risen by millimeters, while others have sunk. Though this movement sounds small, on a geological scale, it is enormous. The surface changes are the visible signs of invisible forces. Below, rock layers bending, pressure zones tightening, and the Earth's crust straining like a stretched rubber band. Even more concerning, instruments have recorded new tension. In parts of the fault that have long been considered locked sections do not slide smoothly. They store energy for decades or even centuries. When a locked segment finally breaks, the resulting quake is almost always destructive. Now, those segments are showing fresh signs of accumulated stress. Adding to the mystery, scientists have detected deep tremor signals, unusual vibrations, far beneath the crust, in zones near molten rock. These deep tremors are strange because they do not behave like normal earthquakes. They often appear months or even weeks before major tectonic events. Taken together, swarming microquakes, ground deformation, locked fault strain, and deep tremors, these signals paint a picture of a fault system that is not quiet at all. It is communicating. To understand what this could mean, we must look at the fault's history, because the San Andreas has a devastating pattern that spans centuries. One of the largest recorded ruptures occurred in 1857. The Fort Tejon earthquake, a magnitude 7.9 giant, that tore open the ground for more than 350 kilometers. The earth cracked, ranches collapsed, and the landscape itself shifted permanently. Nearly 50 years later, in 1906, the northern section of the fault unleashed another monster, the San Francisco earthquake. With a magnitude of 7.8, it shattered buildings, ruptured gas lines, and ignited fires that burned the city to the ground. More than 80% of San Francisco was destroyed. But the most concerning part of this pattern lies not in the north, but in the south. The southern section of the San Andreas Fault has not experienced a major rupture since 1857. That means it is overdue by more than a century based on its historical cycle. And the recent unusual activities have forced scientists to pay attention to this region once again. Stress maps show the southern segment, accumulating energy steadily over the last 168 years. With millions of people living near or directly above this zone, the possibility of a major rupture becomes more than a scientific curiosity. It becomes a real-world risk. So what would a major San Andreas earthquake actually look like? If the fault ruptured in a high-magnitude event, it wouldn't be just a single jolt. It would begin as a deep tearing sound beneath the surface, a low rumble that might feel like a heavy truck passing by. Within seconds, the shaking would intensify dramatically. Roads would buckle and split. Bridges would sway uncontrollably. Buildings not built to modern seismic standards could collapse. Power grids might fail instantly, plunging cities into darkness. Gas lines could rupture, igniting fires across neighborhoods. Water mains would break, making it almost impossible to fight those fires. Los Angeles, a vibrant city built close to the fault's most dangerous section, would be especially vulnerable. Even structures designed for earthquakes would be tested to their limits. Emergency services could be overwhelmed. Communication systems might fail, and the danger wouldn't end there. A large rupture on one part of the fault could trigger movement on nearby faults, a phenomenon known as fault jumping, which could lead to additional earthquakes. Within minutes or hours, aftershocks could continue for months. With all these possibilities, should people be scared? Fear is natural, but panic is not the answer. The truth is, no scientist can predict the exact day or hour of a major earthquake. The recent unusual activities are warning signs, not guarantees. They tell us the fault is active, alive, and storing more energy. But they do not confirm that a major earthquake is imminent. The purpose of understanding these changes is not to create fear, but to improve preparation. Earthquakes cannot be stopped, but the damage they cause can be minimized through awareness, planning, and better building infrastructure. As we step back and look at the San Andreas Fault, this massive scar carved into the earth, it becomes clear that it has shaped the history of California. It has built mountains, created valleys, destroyed cities, and reshaped lives. Today it continues to move beneath our feet, reminding us that nature is always in motion, always evolving. The recent signs may be warnings, or they may simply be part of the planet's natural rhythm. But one truth remains unchanged. The question is no longer if a major earthquake will come, but when. This is the story of a restless fault line, a reminder of the power hidden below, and a call to acknowledge the importance of preparation and awareness. Whatever happens next, one thing is certain: the earth is speaking, and we must choose to listen.